All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to give all praise to Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakak Dash, for the spirit to do this lesson. Double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone. Shalom to the men of the Lord, preaching and teaching on the highways and byways in sincerity and in truth. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. Shalom, shalom. And I'm going to make this one real quick. This is Brother Yabra coming back at you with this news and prophecy. This caught my eye when it says on this article here, the de-dollarization in overdrive. Now, the de-dollarization is basically the other nations trying to pull themselves away from the U.S. dollar, which is also known as the petrodollar. If you know anything about the financial system, the global financial system, the U.S. dollar is the currency that we all carry around. And Esau Edom has basically made it, who is the so-called white man, has basically made it to where you basically have to use it. It's something called the global reserve currency, going back to the Bretton Woods Agreement that a bunch of these Edomite nations came up with after World War II. And now that's the currency that has to be traded in order for you to transact, in order for you to buy oil. And so basically Esau has basically weaponized it and using it, placing sanctions on people and all types of manner of madness. And countries have been wise to this for a while, especially China and Russia and Iran. And they've been trying to get from underneath it. But it says here it's in overdrive now. And I believe through the spirit that this is going to be a major contributor to World War III. When Esau's going to do something to this money. He's going to fuck the money up for everybody. And because there's a lot of debt that these other nations hold. Japan, China, Russia, they all hold collectively trillions of dollars of debt in U.S. dollars. All right. My last video actually got taken down on YouTube. They gave me a warning, and on that video it's cold, man, because they go straight into what they want to do. They want to change the entire money system. They want to make, detail level transactions completely controllable. You can't buy anything without going through that transaction system, and they're going to have to be using blockchain technology. And then it's YouTube being a damn demon, because the original video that I posted is still up, but the video that I re-uploaded they took down. But anyway, let's read a little bit of some of this. It says Moscow and Beijing have ramped up the share of settlements in national currencies to 25% this year, against a modest 2% recorded 7 years ago. That's a huge increase. All right, that's over 12 times. It's over 12 times the amount they did 7 years ago. So, according to the Russian ambassador to China, Andrei Denisov, the share of national currencies in our trade relations with China is steadily increasing. It has reached about a quarter through the 9 months since the beginning of the year. This is quite a big process, the ambassador said. So what does this all mean? Why are they doing this? Because ultimately they want to get from under the U.S., and this is something called Cold War tactics. Is what you do. You cut off communication. You stop trading as much. The day that America cuts off trade, or the other countries cut off trade with America, that's going to be the day when World War III is getting ready to pop off. And all of these other merchants that work in these countries in China, they're going to be pissed, but there's going to be nothing they can do about it, because they're going to be at war with them, It says the parties linked, the parties inked an intergovernmental agreement, which is to switch to national currencies and bilateral trade in early 2019. Back then, Moscow and Beijing agreed to boost cross-currency settlements up to 50% earlier. Earlier this year, the China Overseas Development Association reported that bilateral trade between China and Russia was expected to surpass $100 billion by the end of 2019. And that's just what they have on the books, This is all tension going back into World War III. And I got a couple of precepts proving to you that we would see these things before World War III would take place. These are precursors that were in those times, and we need to now more than ever hasten the day of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai coming back, man. This is Obadiah 1 and 6. It says, "How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up?" Now, when you read the rest of the chapter of Obadiah, you clearly know that this is talking about Esau Edom, and you clearly know that Esau Edom, it has to be the so-called white man, because he's the one ruling at the end of the world, and that's what Obadiah is going into here. But I'm gonna just read verse 6 and 7. Verse 7, it says, "All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee." How? Because they've been accepting your currency, your dollars. China has deceived you for sure, because China has the most assets in the world by far. America doesn't make anything. All of the economy here is all credit card debt. It's all service industry. It's Uber Eats. It's delivery services. You know, there's consulting and marketing. There are no tangible commodities here. There's probably food, but that's about it. But every other nation can produce food. They don't produce cars here. All right, they don't produce a lot of the commodities, the different metals, tungsten, gold. All right, the some of those rare earth elements that China is sitting on in abundance, cobalt. These things that fuel the technology sector. See, all of these things are designed here in America. Like Apple designs this stuff here in California, right? And I'm not in California, but they design it here in the U.S. and California. But how do they produce all those phones? All the phones are physically produced over there in China. So if China decided to cut off and just say, the hell with y'all, then who has the real power in this relationship? you know, because Apple doesn't have any factories here to make iPhones. Same thing with all these other big companies, Nike. All of these factories are overseas. They're in the Philippines, they're in China, they're in India, and now you see how it's coming to an end. But see, America is the richest, but that's only because these other nations are really allowing it, and America's been able to maneuver around it by throwing its weight around with the U.S. dollar and manipulating oil in the Middle East, because everybody needs oil. That's one resource that America has a grip on, is the oil in the Middle East, and that's why other nations haven't forsaken us yet. But once they lose their grip on oil, there's no need for these other nations to produce anything for us, And now you see how World War III is starting to come about, and why Obadiah 1 and 7 is 100% on point. Let me read it again. "All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee." Because that's what's happening. America is getting the wool pulled over their eyes. They're not actually the richest in terms of assets. The other nations are rich, and that's why we read Revelation 18. Those other merchants, they're gonna be crying when America gets destroyed. Why? Because all of these assets, the Nike shops, the Adidas, all the gold, the mineral, Tesla, these parts, these different electronic parts, batteries, all of these things get made over there overseas, and they're all gonna cry because why America has only 5% of the population of the world, but they consume 25%. All right, so we consume 5 times our weight over here, and we spend a ton of money. So that's why they're gonna wail. It says, "They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him." All right, so the wisdom of this place is being found out, man. They're gonna be utterly and completely confounded, and when they make the move on the money, that's gonna be an oh hell no situation going on, and that could happen with Esau at the snap of a finger. Esau can pull the trigger right now with that, man. He already passed the banking for all that, where he can convert basically, the U.S. dollar into a federal Bitcoin style, blockchain style, Fed coin, I think was the name of it, type of currency if they wanted to. And who knows when he's going to do it? But when they do it, I know it's going to be a major problem for these other nations. This is Jeremiah 4 and 30. It says, When thou art spoiled, what wilt thou do? Thou clothest thyself with crimson." And crimson is another way of saying crime, because the word crimson goes back to the word crime, which is a red, which is kind of, para, parabolic speak, I guess, is the best way that I could say it. It says, though thou deckest thee with ornaments of gold, because while you have Gucci stores here, Tiffany stores here, and the diamonds where you get that from is a third world country, man. you know, but we're living, over here like we got it all together. It says, though thou rentest thy face with painting, in vain shalt thou make thyself fair. All right, so all you Americans, that think this place is gonna go on forever, that because we got the money to buy Gucci and all of this other stuff and eat well, and like you niggas are so vain. That's why the judgment of this place is gonna be so spectacular, because the pride itself is gonna be built up, as it says here. In vain shalt thou make thyself fair. Thy lovers will despise thee; they will seek thy life. All right. And what are the elect saying? This is verse 31. For I have heard a voice as of a woman in travail, and the anguish as of her that bringeth forth her first child. The voice of the daughter of Zion, and that's us. That's the elect crying out, saying, "Lord, please come and deliver us." You got Jeff Bezos and these guys getting richer than ever, and we're losing more than we have ever. But the elect are going to get the victory, and we're going to prevail. It says, that spreadeth her hand, saying, woe is me now, for my soul is wearied because of murderers. And that's you, Esau. You're the murderers in this situation. 19 Isaiah 19:11, it says, surely the princes of Zoan are fools, and Zoan is a city in Egypt. And Egypt, we know, is another way of saying a euphemism for America, basically. The counsel of the wise counselors of Pharaoh has become brutish. How say ye unto Pharaoh, I am the son of the wise, the son of the ancient kings? Because you would think, as smart as America wants to claim to be, why people like to claim to have the high IQ and all of this, we got the best financial system and the smartest this and that, and you got Silicon Valley and Texas, and then look at how unwise they're being. They're literally giving all of their assets to your enemies. All you have is paper money, and it's not worth the paper that it's printed on. But see, when this thing is going to collapse, and this is all a design of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Verse 12, it says, where are they? Where are thy wise men? And let them tell thee now, and let them know that the Lord Yahweh of hosts hath purposed upon Egypt. All right, so there's a judgment coming to this place. It says the princes of Zoan are become fools, the princes of Noph are deceived, another town in Egypt. They have also seduced Egypt, even they that are the stay of the tribes thereof. The Lord hath mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof. And they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof. So everything about this place they've gone off, man. Where they've treated people, because you're gonna have riots here. They're gonna start killing politicians. All hell's gonna break loose. Everything they've done, they've screwed it up, man. It's just as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit. Because look at how much of a mess this place is. You got people wearing masks outside. All right. And then all of a sudden they're arguing whether or not to give you $600 of your own money. All right. You got transgenders reading it to your kids in school. They're about to shut you down off the internet. You can't even, they built this place on the principle of free speech. And a lot of people in other countries don't have free speech. So they come over here to America, all for what? So America can come back saying, well, actually, you can't say that. So they reneged on that. So this place is through, man. As I said, like a drunken man staggered in his vomit. And this is the last precept I'm going to get, because this place is utterly through. This de-dollarization is a major sign. And it's been happening over the years. But now that it's ramping up, you can see it. And when Joe Biden gets in office, man, I believe, through the Spirit, that he's going to put a heavy bellicose spirit into the earth, man. Look that word up, bellicose. Basically means warlike. And I think, war and division and strife is going to be at an all-time high. and it's all gonna confound the people of this place, because y'all went out there, voted for these niggas, and told them, and thought he was gonna be better than Trump, or Trump was gonna be better than so and so, and none of it matters. You can't see the thing that we've been telling you the whole time, which is that Esau Edom has a major grip on this place. There is no democracy. It's all an illusion. It's all witchcraft, Masonic witchcraft, basically. And ultimately, only the elect are going to be delivered out of it. This is a stumbling block to all of you. This is Jeremiah 49:7. It says, concerning Edom, thus saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, is wisdom no more in Teman. And Teman is a city in Edom. It says, his counsel perish from the prudent, is their wisdom vanished. Flee ye, turn back, dwell deep, O inhabitants of Dedan, for I will bring the calamity of Esau upon him, the time that I will visit them. All right, it says, for I will. It says, if grape gatherers come to thee, would they not leave some gleaning grapes? Because you robbed the planet. You took land you didn't need. All of this free land in America that you people never set foot on, probably in some places. But you took the whole thing and you didn't need it, man. You can fit the entire population of America on the eastern seaboard. But he's taking all that land in Wyoming and California and just all his farmland. And what is he doing? He's completely squandered it, man. You killed Gad, took out all the buffalo. You got to be taken out of rulership, man. At the end of the day, it says, if thieves by night they will destroy till they have enough. It says, but I have made Esau bare. This is verse 10. But I have made Esau bare, and that's what these nations are doing. They're the hand of the Heavenly Father using. They're being used to judge this place. And this is before the real plague, before Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai really turns up on this place, man, with these plagues. It says, but I have made Esau bare, I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. Why? Because this is now public knowledge now. Whether the Walking Dead, what I call the Walking Dead, these zombies who want to believe, in this American political system, want to look into it or not, it's out there. It's public knowledge. It says his seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not. All right. So y'all are through, man. What is your legacy here? GMOs and OxyContin. That's your legacy, right? Guns. Yeah, this place it's about to be a laughing stock, and we're gonna look back on this place, and we're gonna laugh at rewatching all the judgment that happened to the people. This is stupidity, It says, leave thy fatherless children, I will preserve them alive, and let thy widows trust in me. All right, but we're gonna take a lot of these women when the judgment starts to set in on this place, and I'm only taking tens, If you're a 7 and you're a woman, you're probably not gonna make it, I'm gonna just be real with you, So with that, hopefully y'all were edified. Paul Halal Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai Ba'Hashem Rachak Wadash Shalom Wa Abad Wabal.